Olympus. We were forged in victory.
Zeus says my brothers here, but it is later revealed that two of the gods he is speaking to are Hermes and Helios. Those two are not his brothers. Hermes is Zeus's son, and Helios is Zeus's cousin. What do you mean I'm taking him too literally?
The mortal Kratos seeks to destroy all that I have wrought.
These titans don't really resemble the actual titans in Greek mythology. The titans in Greek myth were human-looking, and they had their own outfits, weapons, and symbols, just like the Olympians did. But here they're a bunch of hulking kaiju. This is a common misconception, which is the result of people mixing up the Titans with the Gigantus, another group of deities the Olympians went to war with. So this is supposed to be the game where Kratos takes on all of the remaining Olympians. Freaking awesome premise, by the way. But what's weird is how few of them appear throughout the game. We never encounter Demeter, Hestia, Dionysus, Apollo, or Artemis. Artemis was in the first game, so where the hell is she now? There's also supposed to be dozens, if not hundreds, of minor gods living on Olympus, including, ironically, the mythological Kratos. Apparently this titan is supposed to be Epimetheus, which is a bit strange considering these are supposed to be the titans who originally fought against the Olympians in the Titanomachy, and in mythology, Epimetheus and his brother Prometheus actually joined Zeus's side in the Titanomachy. Also, Epimetheus is the titan of afterthought and representative of mankind. Not sure how that translates to being all rock-themed. Okay, that's an epic hippocampus design, but unfortunately, hippocampi in myth are simply creatures that are half horse, half fish. And sometimes they have wings, for some reason. Apparently, this blue titan is supposed to be Oceanus, but Oceanus did not take part in the Titanomachy. This chain of balance is not a thing in mythology. Centaurs aren't exactly disciplined warriors, except for Chiron. Centaurs are typically just rampaging scoundrels who like to, how do I put this, put their wee-wees into women who don't want it. They're also not that large.
Challenge me, mortal? A god of Olympus?
Well, yeah, Poseidon. He's already killed 2 other gods of Olympus. What, did you just forget about that? Are you trying to say that Ares and Athena weren't gods of Olympus? 'Cause they were.
You have disrespected the gods for the last time, Kratos!
Poseidon does indeed have a chariot pulled by hippocampi. However, it's supposed to be pulled by 4 hippocampi, and I count at least 5 here in addition to the attacking ones. Also, Poseidon seems to have a crown comprised of crab legs, which is really more representative of the titan Oceanus or the primordial god Pontus.
The death of Olympus means the death of us all!
Then prepare for your death, Poseidon.
The gods bleed red blood in this game, despite the fact that deities in Greek mythology are supposed to have golden ichor running through their veins. death in this game seems to cause all the water of Greece to go haywire. I guess the idea is it's because Poseidon is no longer keeping it under control. But Poseidon isn't the only water deity. Are Oceanus, Tethys, Pontus, Phorcys, Hydros, Ceto, Glaucus, Triton, the Naiads, the Nereids, the Oceanids, and all the river gods just gonna sit back and let this happen? You know, if you wanted this kind of imagery, you could've just had it be caused by Aegeon, the god of storms. He was allied with the Titans in the first Titanomachy, so it would've made perfect sense to have him causing storms here. Olympus is literally being invaded, and yet Zeus is all alone instead of being surrounded by Nike, Bia, Zealous, and Kratos. These are supposed to be his most loyal and elite agents. You really can't find good help these days.
The hands of death could not defeat me.
Well, maybe they would've if only Hades, Thanatos, and Hermes did their freaking jobs once in a while.
I can hold on no longer!
You have the wings of Icarus. Just fly back up. Oh, wait, you can't, because in this game they can only glide instead of free-flying like in the myth. Did Kratos just randomly fall straight into the underworld? That's not how it works. Or am I to assume he has died yet again, in which case I refer you to things that were already said in 2 of my previous videos. Yo, why is the River Styx attacking Kratos? She's his mother! Somebody call social services. Also, since Kratos just took a dip in the River Styx, his body should now be impenetrable, as evidenced by the origins of Achilles.
Zeus will not fall as easily as Ares. To destroy the king of the gods, you must seek the source of his strength, the flame of Olympus.
There is no flame of Olympus in Greek mythology. There's a hearth of Olympus, sure, but that's a different thing entirely.
You. I have suffered enough, Spartan.
Pirithous seems to be sitting in a chair here, whereas in the myth, he was stuck sitting on a rock. Some say a bench, but definitely not a chair, since Theseus was sitting there with him for some time, and there's certainly not enough space for 2 people on that chair.
What are you doing? Please, Spartan! Spare me!
Cerberus does not breathe fire. There was a playwright named Euphorion who said his eyes flashed fire, but that's about it. According to Euripides, Pirithous was eventually killed by Hades feeding him to Cerberus. It's pretty close to what happens here, since he's still killed by a Cerberus knockoff, but still different. Pirithous did not come into possession of Apollo's bow at any point. Where the hell even is Apollo in this entire series? You did not have to complete any trials to receive an audience with the judges of the dead. Being judged was standard procedure after dying in Greek myth. Kratos uses the wings of Icarus directly above a literal smoking fire here, and yet the wax holding the feathers together doesn't melt like it did when Icarus flew too close to the sun. The many living statue enemies in this game are called either Stone Talos or Bronze Talos. But Talos wasn't the name of an entire race of living statues, it was the name of one particular gigantic bronze man who defended the island of Crete. The name for the race of living statues in Greek myth would be automatons.
Ghost of Sparta!
The Forge of Hephaestus was in Mount Olympus, not the underworld. There was only ever one Cerberus in mythology, and yet we encounter several in this game. Hades' weapon of choice was a bident, not a set of those things. Also, his helmet is supposed to make him invisible. This game seems to have replaced Hades' Doom Eternal style design from the first game with, okay, let's be honest, another Doom Eternal style design. Again, Hades isn't some monster, he's just as human looking as the other Olympians. The souls of the dead were not contained inside of Hades. Souls who make it past the river Styx go to either Elysium, Asphodel, or Tartarus. Souls that don't make it past either end up trapped in one of the underworld rivers, or wander the shores of the dead until Charon feels generous.
You know, Kratos, I wasn't always like this, a monster. I was once the most prized craftsman in all of Olympus. Zeus rewarded me with my marriage to the beautiful Aphrodite. My mother, Hera, bragged of my talent.
Nope. Hephaestus was born with defects, and Hera was so annoyed by his defects that she literally tossed him off the top of Mount Olympus. He later got revenge on her by trapping her on a golden throne, and Zeus had to give him Aphrodite as ransom to release Hera. Not exactly a reward.
Worst of all, he took my beloved daughter, Pandora. My reason for living. I spend my time here trying to recreate her. I fail again and again.
Well, maybe that's because you're clearly trying to recreate her using bronze when the myths say she was made using either clay or marble. Helios clearly isn't guiding the sun across the sky right now, and yet somehow the sun is still up. There was only ever one chimera in Greek mythology, but we encounter several more than that in this game. The chimera was slain by Bellerophon, not Kratos.
Kratos, I have not forgotten the debt I owe you. Save me now, as you once saved me from Atlas. And I promise to repay you in full.
If you wish to repay me, tell me where I can find the Flame of Olympus.
Flame. You will never defeat Zeus, Spartan. You will forfeit your life in trying.
Of all the lives you should worry about, Helios, mine is not one of them. Feel the power of the sun!
Helios is known as the guardian of oaths in Greek culture, so it's kinda weird to see him make a promise and then almost immediately break it.
Look who it is! Kratos, the ghost of Sparta, the fallen god, the cursed mortal.
Hermes does not have his caduceus, his cape, or his winged helmet in this game. He also wasn't depicted with flaming hair. That's more of a Loki thing from Norse mythology.
To contain these evils, Zeus commissioned Hephaestus to build a vessel strong enough to hold them. Fear, greed, hate. He locked them all away in the box in hopes that they would never again infect his reign.
Well, that wasn't the plan in the myths, seeing as he intentionally got Pandora to open it as a way to punish humanity. Wait, even in this game series, he intentionally helped Kratos open it. This line just doesn't make sense. Hermes' winged shoes are supposed to be able to run across the air itself, but they don't seem capable of that here.
I thought Spartans fought with honor, and yet you seek to kill me when I have no way to defend myself? Not fair!
This from the guy who murdered Argus while he was sleeping just for doing his job. Hermes' death in this game unleashes disease on mankind, suggesting that Hermes was the god of health or medicine. But this is actually a misconception. The Greek gods of health and medicine were Apollo, Asclepius, and Hygeia, not Hermes. Also, the fact that both Hermes and Thanatos are dead at this point means no mortals should be able to die anymore. We know this because in the Tale of Sisyphus, he trapped Thanatos for a while, and nobody was able to die during that time. I let that slide in the Ghost of Sparta video because you could technically argue that Hermes is also capable of bringing souls to the underworld, but now they're both dead, so yeah.
Bravo! Bravo! Our hero has arrived. Applause for another bastard child of Zeus. Destroy him.
Hello, brother. This is not between us, Hercules.
Oh my god, Heracles, son of a...
Okay, fine, I'm cool, I'm fine.
Also, why would Hercules be taking orders from Hera? Those two hate each other. By the way, fun fact, Hercules in this game is voiced by the same actor who played Hercules in the 1995 show. Nice.
Isn't it? You were always Zeus's favorite.
I'm pretty sure Athena was the favorite, since she's the only one who didn't get punished after the attempted coup.
Not convinced. How about this? While you were being crowned the god of war, I was sent to find an apple.
3 apples, actually.
Perhaps he did allow me to kill the Nemean lion, but he made your name known amongst the people. A fierce warrior, a killer made hero, a man made a god.
But all of that applies to Heracles as well. His name was known amongst the people to an insane degree. They even reference that in Ghost of Sparta with the city that was named after him. Heracles was definitely known as a fierce warrior, and a killer made a hero, and a man who became a god.
But this time, brother, this time I will destroy you. Call it my 13th and final labor. Soon I will become the god of war and claim the throne for myself. Okay,
we need to talk about the timeline here because it is a freaking mess. First of all, Heracles, or Hercules, is supposed to be the great-great-grandson of Perseus, but in God of War 2, which takes place just a few days before this, we encountered Perseus, and he honestly looked even younger than Hercules does here. Second, Hercules is already the god of strength, so not sure why he wants to be god of war. Third, Hercules says this will be his 13th labor, but that would mean he completed his other 12 labors. How did he slay the Hydra for his second labor if Kratos slew it in God of War 1? If he completed his 10th labor, that would mean he killed Geryon, but Geryon still appeared in Ghost of Sparta. How did he get the golden apples for his 11th labor without help from Atlas, since Atlas is chained up underneath the earth instead of holding up the sky next to the Hesperides tree? Got a whole lot of stuff here that doesn't add up. The Nemean lion skin was made into a more cloak-like outfit, not a helmet and a pair of cesti. Also, Hercules doesn't have his signature club or poison arrows in this game. Kratos breaks the Nemean helmet here, but the Nemean lion skin is supposed to be impenetrable. The plural for cestus is cesti, thank you very much.
Yes, of course. We'll need the Omphalos stone. With it, I'll make you a weapon.
I have weapons.
Ah, but not like this. This weapon will give you the retribution you so rightly deserve. The stone rests in the pit of Tartarus.
The Omphalos stone was actually found in Delphi, and is still there to this day. Kratos walks straight into Tartarus without encountering any of the Hecatoncheires that are supposed to be guarding it. Yes, I know one of them got turned into a living prison in a prequel game, but there are still 2 other Hecatoncheires, so where the heck are they?
The murderer of Gaia enters my tomb. Kronos!
Hey, Kronos is finally in Tartarus, like in the myth. He still hasn't been chopped into pieces, though.
Enough! Time to end this! Trust me, eating you will be more unpleasant for me.
Why was the Omphalos stone inside of Kronos' stomach? Kronos puked that stone up the same time he puked up his 5 kids. What, did he eat it again?
Curse these chains! I should have expected this from a coward such as yourself. A coward who kills his own kin.
Really? This from the guy who castrated his father and devoured his own children? I've never seen such a lack of self-awareness.
As I promised.
This Nemesis whip is not a thing in Greek mythology.
You think this garden is not protected?
Hera does have a garden in Greek myth, but it's the Hesperides garden and it's not on Mount Olympus. death seems to result in the death of all plant life, but Hera isn't the goddess of plants. That would be Demeter. Hera is the goddess of marriage, so I guess what would actually happen is everyone would start getting divorced? Zeus did not commission the labyrinth from Daedalus. That was King Minos. The stinger of Scorpius is supposed to be venomous, not ice-inducing. Also, Scorpius wasn't killed by Kratos, he was transformed into a constellation after his battle with Orion.
Please, don't do it, Spartan!
Creative. But unfortunately, the labyrinth wasn't a giant Rubik's Cube in Olympus filled with various challenges, it was a maze somewhere in Crete.
Pandora! What has he done?
Pandora was never a little girl. She was created by the gods in the shape of a beautiful grown woman in order to be an irresistible gift for Epimetheus. She's also supposed to have ruby red lips. Also, in this game, she's a key to unlock the Flame of Olympus to get to Pandora's box. Obviously, none of that is in the myth. In the myth, she's simply a woman who opened the box. Zeus shoots a lot of thunderbolts at Kratos, despite the fact that Hephaestus is no longer around to make them, and apparently hasn't been to Olympus in a long time.
Power to kill a god.
This game later reveals that Hope came out of the box at the same time that the evils came out. In the myths, though, Hope was the one thing that remained in the box when that happened. Gaia is the living embodiment of the Earth itself, so if she's dead, there should be no Earth left. I honestly don't know whether to call this inaccurate or not. It's not like Zeus has ever been killed in mythology, so I guess there's no way of knowing whether he would have some kind of after-death wraith form. Hey, hope you enjoyed that video. Sorry it took so long, but thanks for watching it, and a huge thanks to the people on Patreon who made the video possible. Lilith Jade Vaughn, Sage Ty, Gilda Ramos, Spencer Davidson, Double Ditto, Anthony Miano, CJ the Boy, Gina Adams, Justin Brown, Matthew Owen, Ty Cobb, Carrie692, Darkling, Gavin Lothar, Justin Pruitt, This Ting, Zaggard, Zach Horgan, Adam, Alex, Bloody Sovey, Kane Kendrick, Carson Price, Charles Harain, Chris Hicks, Christopher D. Sampson II, Krill E. Dara, Damian Fireheart, Dominic Fournier Bessner, Eddie, Gameboy64, Habalon, James H., Jeff Jeffington, Jennifer McNeese, Jeremy Sunday, Cade, Lady Aaron, Lassie Aaron Reich, Larakia, Marco Gonzalez, Maria Potter, Matt Dioguardo, Miranda Annette, Muhammad Al Dobson, Nathaniel Frey, Novicus, Renji Killer, Saint Wolfman, Stephen Pilco, Sunsinger, The Jesus, The Last, Woozle, and Mag Story. Thank you guys so much for keeping this series going, and if any of you guys want to get your name in the credits, help make more videos like this possible, get exclusive looks at certain videos that never made it onto YouTube because of copyright BS, and be able to message me directly, consider supporting in the Patreon. But if you don't want to, that's fine, because you supported me just by watching this. Thank you for that. I really appreciate it, and I don't know how to end videos.